Morning guys. I got this bike in over the weekend. It's a Caliber Boss Nut. Really nice bike. For the price of them, they're really well made. So this came in, took advantage of the basically the free health check that I offer. I can't blame him for that because it is a really good offer. I've had a lot of people take advantage of it, and I've found some issues with their bikes and managed to get it set up right for them. But this one really had me stumped. He said to me, "Oh, I want to bring him in for the health check, and I'm struggling to get my gears going up the range." He says it's fine, it's a bit clunky and all the rest of it, but coming down, the chain seems to be getting stuck, and I'm having to back pedal and then pedal forward again to get it back so that it'll go drop down into the next gear. So I thought, alright, okay, maybe the cable's a bit tight, maybe the rear mech's had a bit of a knock or something like that. I'll have a look when I do the health check, and I'll index your gears. So I figured take me about an hour, maybe a little bit more, just bring it down. This was over the weekend, so I thought, yeah, it won't take me long. Get it in, get it out, back to him, and 2 hours later I was still stood here trying to figure out what was wrong with this bike. Could not get the gears to sync, and the more I was trying, the worse it was getting. In the end I thought, right, stop, because as my experience from an engineer, I've always believed that if you're hitting a brick wall like I was with this, walk away, have a think about it, come back with a clear head. So I did. I left it for an hour, came back, and I was just stood here behind it looking down, and I just grabbed the wheel like that and I spun it, and there it was. I could see in here it was catching. You can see on the inside of the frame there. I don't know if that's focusing on there, but you can see on the inside of the frame there, it was actually catching, and it was making the wheel do that. But I checked the wheel when I'd done the health check, and it was slightly out of true, but nothing drastic. So I didn't really notice it then, but I must have been stood at the angle or something, just something worked out right, and I saw what was happening. So I thought, right, I'm going to strip this down and find out what's going on, what's causing that to have so much play and movement in it. I thought it might be the wheel bearings, but I checked that and they seemed fine. So took the wheel out, took the cassette off, got the cassette off, and I was looking at his free hub, and at first I was like, there's nothing wrong with that, it's engaging, and then I saw that. Can you see that? It's cracked. It's actually split. It must have took a knock or something. You see that there? It's actually cracked. A massive piece out there. So when it's sat in the frame, there, it's obviously not sitting true. It's sitting slightly out and then catching on the frame. Man, that thing had me stumped for ages. I was pulling my hair out. Not that I've got it. Well, I do have hair. I just choose to shave it off. But yeah, Have any of you had that before? Seen that happen? That's insane. Oh man, you wouldn't look for that for indexing gears. You would think there was a problem with the chain, you would think there was a problem with the mech. So we're back in the workshop. This bike's been in for a few days now. There's been a few issues with this bike. I showed you earlier on from the day before. It's had some sort of knock on the back here, some sort of side force impact, which has caused the cone inside the wheel hub to move over slightly, and it's put all the adjustment out. The rear mech, the clutch was completely damaged. It was irreparable. So basically I've had to order a new rear mech, new shifter, but it's like I said to the customer, the rear mech and shifter system that he had on was a SRAM SX, which is a basic, very basic entry-level system. And every review, I mean, you can look at the reviews, and SRAM SX, I reckon for every one good review, there's probably 10, maybe more bad reviews on them. So what we've done is we've upgraded him slightly, still within like a budget system, but compared to the SX system, it's like head and shoulders above the SX. So we've now put in on NX, SRAM NX system, 12-speed Eagle to match a cassette that he's already got on. We've kept the SX cranks on there for now because there's nothing wrong with them. Yeah, we're gonna leave them on, and when they need replacing, then we'll replace them to the NX system to match the rest of the drivetrain on the back. But here we go. They've finally turned up today. The parts took slightly longer than I would have hoped. It was supposed to be next day delivery, but with the way things are with bike parts and all the rest of it, everything's taking a bit longer with COVID. Yeah, so well, they're here now, so I'm gonna get them fitted, get this bike out the door, and hopefully a happy customer. I've bled all his brakes. New pads have been put on. They are absolutely sweet now. And his grips, they've seen better days. They're all completely perished in the middle. So what I'm going to do for him is I'm going to take my DMR ones off of my hardtail, and just as a goodwill gesture, because this has been, I mean, this has taken a bit longer than I would have liked. I try to get a bike in and out within 24 hours. I try to have that sort of turnaround. But with this bike, because of the issues, I had to basically rebuild his rear hub. His free hub as well, I had to replace that. Yeah, so this repair and build, it's not been your normal everyday bike in, bike out. So it has took me a little bit longer. I've had to wait for parts. So just as a goodwill gesture, I'm going to throw my DMR grips on there free of charge, and hopefully he'll be happy with the work that I've done. So I'm going to get this all unwrapped, and there we go. Get it put on the bike. There it is, unwrapped. Let's get this. See if I can get this open using the one hand. Probably can't. Tough. That's. Oh yes, look at that, nice and shiny and new. We love new parts, don't we? We do. Get this mech out. Oh yes, there it is. Nice new SRAM NX mech, all ready to go on the bike. So that is it, guys. One caliber boss nut completed. Everything running sweet. That new Bone Traeger free hub sounds amazing. Sounds better than what it did. New SRAM and X-Mech on there. Made all the difference. Still got the SX cranks, but they'll be fine for now. New NX shifter, making his gear changes a lot smoother and slicker. Yeah, she's looking good. When he gets here, I'll set up all his suspension for him, get it set correct, because at the minute I don't think it's set up. Pads, new pads, so the brakes don't go all the way back to the grips anymore. That's good. His dropper was a bit slow, so I've slightly tightened his cable up on that to make it a bit more fluid when it goes up, a bit more. Yeah, so it's looking good. It's ready for it to be picked up. A lot of work's gone into this bike, especially with this back end. Yeah, it's had a bit of a knock at some point, but it's all rectified and fixed now, so we're all good. Another happy customer, hopefully. Oh well, he's happy with his bike, picked it up, so onwards for the next one.